Alright, hello everybody! This is LaserNook here, and I'm going to be doing some more design today. It's been a little while, I know, but the goal here is to keep doing it and show you guys my process a little bit more. So last time, if any of you tuned in, I was creating a little pegboard. You probably remember this stuff from that. I was making a pegboard for one of my classes, and this is part of my capstone / LaserNooks and whole deal. I'm going to be teaching you, kind of, how I go about creating these lamps. Now, if you've seen any of my other work, if you've perused my websites or anything, you know that I make these lamps that are lit from behind that have layered paper. And I'm going to be walking you through the process of how I go about making those layers today. Maybe even making the box, depends on how long this takes. I'm hoping this won't go past 8. So yeah. So we have our first layer here. It's my sketch that I drew. And this sketch, I sketch everything out beforehand, and then I take it into Illustrator and draw it. It's easier for me to create the layers that I envision. So this should come out alright. Let's see, one I feel comfortable. So I'm not saying by any means this is the best way to do it or the completely correct way to do it. It's just how I do it and how I get my results. So we're gonna lock this bottom layer down, create a new layer, and we're gonna try to work from the bottom up for this. So we're gonna try to get that it's like a flat back layer, which I am going to be doing kind of I might have to make my own shape for this, because I want this flat on the top, rounded on the edges kind of shape for this, like a pill shape. So I'm gonna try the best I can here to get something correct. 1 second. Again, I am in no way the master of Adobe Illustrator. Also, I should probably have guides on so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing here. Oh, come on. Hopefully this doesn't fight me the entire time. No, I'm gonna have to do a couple different steps here. Alright. Also, I turn my fill off so I can see what I'm doing most of the time here. Come on. I'm starting to think there's got to be a better way to do this. I want to say rounded rectangle. Maybe I'll make 2 circular ellipses and then connect them. A lot of this is a process that I just try to do correctly often. But everything takes practice. Especially when I'm working off of not exactly the best sketch in the world. Alright. I'm just going to merge these. And then be kind of cheap and see if this gives me my desired results. Yes, okay. So that's our pill shape. So now we got that pill shape down. That's going to be the general shape of my box too, but right now we're going to use this as a template to make the back. So since it's the first layer, this is going to be the far back. I'm just going to make it something, we'll make it fun this time. We'll do shades of red. So we'll start with black and then we'll work our way up through red to white. Okay. So what I'm going to do is copy this, create a new layer, paste it on the new layer, and then hopefully put it down exactly, lock that, remove that, and then take this and turn that off. So now we can see what we're working with. Alright. So now what I'm going for is the second layer up, which is going to be literally just this, I believe. This moon here. So I don't really need to do much for that. Fortunately, I can just make an eclipse, or an ellipse here. We'll worry about all the line weight and stuff after, because it's better to just get everything done now and worry about everything else later. Alright, so you are going to be a new color. Nope, darker than that. Yeah. And we're going to select that. And then we're going to minus front. So now we got the moon. So now if you see, you got that black behind that and the new red in front of that. And again, we're going to make a new layer. And we're going to paste that black layer on top. You keep using the same base shape, that way it'll in the end layer correctly. So we're going to turn the eyeball off of that and move into the third layer, which is going to be, I think, all of this background stuff here. Just make sure I'm seeing this all correct. I think there's actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers. It's a process. And normally I just wing it. I don't really kind of conform to exactly what I need to be doing. Alright. So we're going after these shapes now. So I'm actually going to zoom in here. Alright. Oh, bugger. Come on. Like I said, I'm not like looking for perfection. I'm just looking for something that is going to come off similarly. Typically when I do this, I make a lot of points. I make the laser cutter kind of angry when I do that, but I like the effect that it gives. And when I get into the process of changing all the line weights for my laser cutter, I will let you know what laser cutter I use, because it probably isn't going to be what you're used to, because unless you go to UMaine, in which case it's wonderful, and then you'll know how to use our laser cutters. But we use a universal laser cutter, and we have Velocities as well, but I do not prefer Velocities. I like the universal because it's smaller. In my opinion, it's simpler. It cuts, I think they said it cuts a little bit better. So that's the one that I like to use. A lot of my designs are kind of jagged anyway, so again, I don't worry too much about what it's going to end up being, because I like the jaggedness of laser cut paper. Get to like kind of get to improvise a little, but come on. I did not hit that button. Come on. Again, I'm in my senior year. I know decent amounts about Illustrator, but I'm not saying that I know everything about Illustrator. I do what I need to get projects done. And it just happens that I like these types of projects. Alright, moving on to this last little cloudy bit here. Again, I like to improvise a little bit. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of these. Actually, wait. We're going to take this, and we're going to give this... Oh, wait. Ignore me. I'm just going to give this a blackish color here real quick. And I'll give this one a lighter red. So now we can select all these. We'll minus front. And now you can see that we have this layering that's going on here. So, turn these off, create a new layer, paste that, oh, Jesus. Zoom out, replace that, turn that off and lock it, turn this to invisible, we'll move on to the next layer, which is going to be, it looks like this one. Alright, so we'll go, I made this one kind of complex. It is going to be like my big project this semester. I'll start where I see. I'm going to zoom in though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my regular process here. The laser cutters don't like it, but it makes great tree shapes. great foliage. And it's a lot quicker. And the best part is you can just hit escape or Alt Z a bunch, and then you don't have to worry about much. If it looks kind of weird. You want to make sure you don't have any of those sharp points, though. They kind of ruin it a bit. Alright, so we have to go connect over here. Alright, so there's that one. I don't think there's anything else I want to work here. Alright, so it goes behind this. Alright. So then we take this, and we give this a funky color that'll stand out against it. That's probably going to be too bright. The color that'll stand out against the red that we're going to add to this one. Give that one some kind of a red, and then we will minus front. Then you'll be able to see the layering that's going on here. So you got the moon in the back, cloudy bits, some trees happening. It's coming together. Slowly. So we're going to lock this. We're going to... Oh wait, gotta see this still. We are going to toggle all those off. And we're going to zoom out a little bit. And we're going to... Oh. It would help if I made a new layer, huh? We're going to paste that. I'm going to take it. And we're going to match it so it sits on top of all the other layers. And then we're going to toggle that off. And we're going to make it see-through again. And we're going to move on to this layer. So we're going to zoom in again. I'm going to employ the same process that I did the last time, which is a whole lot of clicking. Because, again, I like the shapes that it makes, and it's really easy to just go back and fix if you don't like what's going on. And again, it creates like a really cool, like, jagged look. Try not to make any of those curls. The curls will actually make your life pretty awful when it comes to laser cutting, because then you'll have like missing pieces. See, this one has a couple like spaces. Oh, we have to do the deer too. We'll do the layer in between afterwards. I made a little bit of a oops there, but it's fine. That's the good thing about Illustrator, you can move your layers around. Here we have a little bit of openings in this layer, and the trees kind of look like eyes. So we're gonna make sure those get the appropriate amount of attention. I'm trying really hard to talk through this. I'm normally very silent when it comes to making a lot of this stuff happen. Almost there. Then we can Am I? Oh, I think I might have followed the wrong path here. Yeah, I need to go that way. That is what our Alt-Z is for, everybody. Just slowly push it back. Okay. So we're supposed to go up this way. My bad. There we go. I don't like that big bump. Alright. We have to bring it up above just a little bit. And then bring it back down. Alright. So we got that. Now there's a hole over here that we have to address. There's a little one. Shouldn't take too long. I don't think there's any more on this layer that we have to worry about. No. Alright. So again, we're going to take this. We're going to choose that and this. Give it a color that'll stand out against red. We'll grab background layer and give it a brighter red color, and then we'll select all of these minus the front. Alright, and I know we're missing a layer in between here, but you can still see how the layering is happening.
Awesome to the max.
Alright, so you see how we need this kind of arcing thing here. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little shadow underneath. That shadow underneath, I don't think I'm actually going to end up doing it. I was thinking of placing just a flopped over copy of this underneath so it would be more shadowy, but I don't think it's going to work out the way I want it to. So instead we're just going to ignore that and we're just going to try to put this all on one layer here. So we're going to make a new layer, but we're going to bring it down below layer 6. And we're going to name this layer 6. And this layer 7. Keep forgetting to zoom out.
Awesome to the max.
This time, we're going to get that deer in here. I might have just lost connection again, so I apologize. We have terrible internet up here in these dorms. So we're going to start off over there. I'm actually going to zoom in on this one. I kind of want those mushrooms to be more defined. Also, I need to get this deer down pretty accurately. Keep doing this. We have to follow the deer. I guess we can give her a little bit of a rounded foot so she doesn't look so alien. I'm wondering where my music went. I've been using the Monster Cat stream, but it looks like it's off. Let me just refresh here. See if we can get the music back. Alright. There we go. I did a deer in one of my other lamps slash I call them lamps or light boxes. It's really either at this point. But I did a deer in one of my other ones that looked really nice. So it's like I'm forever trying to make up for the coolness of that deer. I don't even like, deers aren't even my favorite animal. They just happen to look really nice in nature. This is more like fantasy anyway, so don't harp on me for incorrect anatomy of antlers or a deer. All of my work is fantasy for the most part. I like making things of my own design. And the best way to do that is for it to be fantasy. probably go back. So for those of you watching this after the fact, like after today, Sunday at 6:30, thank you for watching. You're all very great. Fortunately, we gotta do these in a few pieces here. I need to zoom out. Where am I? Alright, so we have to go in between a few layers here. So we're going behind this one. I think it's behind these two. Right, what's... Yeah, so we're going behind those. Alright. So we got that first part done. Now we have to go in and fix up all the inside here. Gotta make sure everything's all nice and defined. Lastly, and we have to get this little kind of nub part here too. So, okay, make sure we select everything here. Fill all of these. Where's my little fill button? There it is. I'm gonna stand out against the red. Zoom out so we can actually see what we're doing. Then we're going to select this. Give it that red. Select everything here. Minus the front. One second. Oh, I didn't select this here. Now minus front. So now we got this. Now, if we turn these all on, these need to be slightly darker. So we have that now. If I stop hovering over it. Everything's outlined in black, but we'll go back and we'll fix that. So far it looks pretty sinister. It's too bad I'm not cutting it out in red paper. Alright, so I'm gonna lock that. Actually, let's make this just a little bit darker. There we go. That looks a little bit better. See, it's slowly coming together. It's slowly coming together. Now we have 1 or 2 more layers, I believe. So, we're going to make our 8th layer here. Move all of these. Alright, so we got that layer done. Now we have to move on to this layer here with a spooky bush. Yep, so it's this last layer here, and then we have to start making the box. So we'll actually get the paper layer done today, which will be great. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what size it needs to be. Alright, so we're gonna start up there, but I am going to zoom in a little bit. Again, applying the rapid clicking that I so like to employ here. This one has a lot of those spooky eyes on it. I'm not sure whether or not they're going to show up really well with the backlit, but I think just having them there will be a little bit more interesting. I will be making updates to this channel when I start doing laser cutting. I'll be posting a few laser cutting tutorials about how to use the universal laser cutter, so that anybody around the University of Maine that is interested in learning how to use them can kind of get a taste of what it's like. Because obviously my videos can't certify you. I'm not a lab tech. I have to take that up with one of the lab techs over at the IMRC, or maybe in this fancy new hackerspace that we should be getting. But this will be just an easy way to, an easy reference, if anything, so that if you forget, oh, what does my stroke weight need to be? How big is the how big is the laser cutting bed on this printer? You'll be able to watch the videos that I make and make sure you know how to do it. Also, just maybe employing some of the processes that I use. I don't think it's copying. I think it's a good use of, or I'm not gonna say good use. Again, I'm not exactly the best person to I'm not the best source for all of your Illustrator needs, but it's everybody uses Illustrator differently, and it's more like an art style than anything. Alright, so we got that front layer done. Now we gotta do these spooky eyes. got one of those loopties. My other lamps were a little bit more upbeat, so I wanted to make this one just a little darker. I like the spooky forest vibe though. I will be lighting this with purple and green, I believe, is the colors that I choose, or blue and green, technically, the colors that I'll be using. Alright, so that looks about right. So like this, and that, these, and give them a color that'll stand out against red. Grab this back and give it a brighter red. That is an awful, awful brown, green, puke color. My bad. It's a good thing it's going away though. Alright, so we got this. Now this I'm pretty sure is going to be the last of the layered paper that we need to do. So that's technically 7 layers in total of layered paper, because the first layer here is just that background. So should be able to turn all these layers on. And then let me just turn. That's not what I meant to do. Unlock these real quick. Oh, come on. And highlighting everything, please.
Get ready to fly.
Okay. There. It always looks better without the the outline here. So that's what the paper is going to look like. I think that actually looks pretty dang cool, even without the shadowing here. I think it ends up looking really nice. So now that the layered paper is done, I have to figure out what size we're going to have everything be. But we're going to continue. We're going to do that on another on another file, because that's the file we're going to be using to make the actual box itself, the outer wooden outside. So we'll get the front and the back plates done, but I'm still going to have to do a little bit more work on the living hinges. So I'm actually going to be taking flat wood and making it bend via laser cutting into it in the correct pattern, so that it'll actually bend and contour around these pill-shaped sides. Alright, so we need to have a new one. And then we're going to here's what we'll do. We'll actually create a new layer here. We'll sketch out trying to think of what I need to do. Well, we need to sketch out the the wow, I can't talk. I can't think either. We need to sketch out the faceplates, general outer area. I'm not sure how I want to do this. Because I want to, oh, I should probably put rulers up. Rulers might help. Rulers, where are they? Probably in view, not wooden. Okay, so this is a 24 by 18 workspace. This is not going to be 2 feet long. I think if anything, I think my goal was for it to be about a foot in length. That's about right. That'd be about a foot in length. Maybe you can go a little bit bigger. Let me try to find a ruler here real quick. Every time I look for my rulers, they're always gone. That's unfortunate. I think I'm actually going to make it a foot and a half-ish. Maybe not that big. Make it one foot and 2 inches. We'll just do 1 foot and 4 inches. So now we have that size right. Gotta make sure we can fit 2 of them in here. So these are our back plates, essentially. I figured I was gonna have to use 2 pieces of wood anyway, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. So, what I'm gonna do here, I need to do a little bit of testing. I don't need that. I don't need layer 9. I do need to see all of these and unlock them. Shrink them so they'll fit in here. Enough space. That seems about right. Yes. Alright. So what I'm gonna do, the sizing here should have kept relevance. I don't really need to keep them in layers anymore because now I have to separate them. Pretty sure. There's a lot of ways I wish I could do this, but I can't think of the best way to. These are all going to be cut out on single pieces of paper anyway. So now that I have this one stacked layered version with all the right sizes, because that fits in there with enough space around the edges for the wood to seal. Now what I'm going to do is grab that. Ooh. Excuse the layering in the background there. Forgot I had that open. Bring this down the sides here. Am I not figuring out? Okay. Let me try this again so I don't screw up the sizing here. Better if I just zoomed out. I think it was control clicking instead of shift clicking. Come on. I'm going to do this one more time. I swear, if I keep clicking wrong, I'm going to do something unsavory. All right. So. This is roughly the correct size here. So I'm going to do that. It's a little big. Follow me into the sky, let's hold our breath till we die. I just wish it was for something. Alright. So that's about good. Follow me, we can take this city on. Follow me, follow me. This is what you're waiting for. I'm kind of accidentally working on all the same layer here. Don't do what I'm doing. It's bad. I'm just kind of flustered right now, as you can tell, because I'm pretty silent. Brain's doing a lot of thinking. I'm gonna do this just for my own sake, so I don't have to look at those. My eyes are close to shutting. This is the turning point tonight. Okay. Follow me into the sky. I'm glad these clouds are so high. Alright, so now we're gonna go in, do that rapid click. This part is all going to be cut out of the wood in the front. I've done static different shapes before. I like the organic look of like adding another layer through the wood. Makes a frame that's not forced. And it makes it look like it's coming out of it, more part of the lamp. Okay, so sorry about the quietness. Do a lot of thinking while I'm trying to get this done here. This I'm just going to cut out of that. I'll just color that color for right now. Minus that front. Actually, this needs to be even lighter. Okay. So. Alright, so that's what the front is going to look like. I just want to send this back a few times. To curl, or control, sorry. It's not gonna do what I want it to. It's not doing what I want it to. Oh, it's because it's on a different layer. Alright, so that looks like it will cover it all. So that's good. All of those are well above that. They'll have plenty of space to adhere. Awesome. This might be a little tight, but that's fine. Wow, my internet is awful. I am so sorry. You probably can't even tell what's going on. either way, we're rounding out to the end of this stream anyway. So, alright. We got the front piece done. I'll just quickly go over how to go about doing the whoa. Alright, just real quick. For the universal laser cutter that I use, to cut, the outlines need to be RGB red. So, to do RGB red, of course I didn't keep it. I believe it's FF0000. Yes. So for RGB red, it's FF0000. Should be no fills, and the stroke weight needs to be 0.001. That's important because of how the laser cuts. So these are our front plates for our box here. And same thing goes for all of these. I believe I'm going to be cutting this out on 9x11 Bristol board. So I'm going to do that on my own here. I just wanted to kind of get this going, let you guys know how I do all the layering. These follow the same procedure. They'll have to be outlined. The stroke has to be an RGB red, and the stroke weight has to be 0.001. So the laser will know that red is to cut, and 001 is the correct diameter for the laser. So each of these layers, minus layer 1 here, so all 7 of these other layers, they're all going to be on different pieces of paper. I might have to get better paper for this. Anyway, it's gonna be cut out on paper, and depending on the paper I get, I might be able to fit 2 or 3 on each one. So I'm gonna worry about that at a different time, so you guys don't have to watch me go through and make a billion other different files. So yes, that is essentially how I go about making the inside layers for these boxes. It's a lot of, I make sketches ahead of time. That's number one, is to get your ideas on paper, to think about the layers and how they interact with each other, but don't be afraid to step out and try something else while you're in the program. It might end up looking better. It might not, but just try to be kind of fluid with it. I don't take anything too seriously, and it ends up coming out pretty great in the end. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'll be doing some recording this week on how to load your materials into the laser cutter, the settings that I use for paper, the settings that I use for wood. I'll be cutting out coasters this week as well, that I'll do a mini video on to teach you guys how to make your own coasters. I'll go through different materials you can use for this, but for this project that I'm doing here, I'm doing, this is going to be, the paper layers are going to be cut out of Bristol paper. I use Strathmore. You can pick it up at any craft store, we have it in our bookstore, any place that sells drawing supplies, essentially. You can pick it up at Walmart. It's a bright yellow pads of paper. That's the typical paper that I use. I'm hoping I can get big sheets of it this time because I'm going to be doing this. How big was it? It was a little bit of, yeah, around 16 inches. So my dinky 9 by 11 isn't gonna cut it. And I really don't want to have to sacrifice the size of my box as a whole. So, yeah. So I use Bristol board paper. I use the IMRC, the place that I work out of. They sell compressed fiberboard, I believe is what it is. It's, I'm trying to think of the right word. I cannot think of the right word right now. It's a cheap wood. You get a 18 by 24 piece, which is the size of this artboard, for $5. You can use any kind of wood as long as as long as it's pure wood, or if you're using like a fiberboard or a compressed, I can't think of the name. As long as it doesn't have bad glues in it that when burned send off toxins, it's fine to use in a laser cutter. Got to be careful with thickness. I think I'm going to be using an 1/8 of an inch thick wood for this project. Typically I use a 1/4 of an inch, but I'm experimenting with thinner woods specifically for the use of the living hinges. I'll go over living hinges in a separate video. They are still kind of a mystery to me, so I will be attempting to solve that mystery and get this box made, and then I'll make a video just on living hinges so that you all can figure out how it works, because it's going to be a lot of trial and error for me until I get to that point. But I will hopefully be recording everything that I do so that you will be able to watch a video in the end of how I actually made everything, and you can skip through it. So thank you all for watching. Sorry if it was kind of boring. It's a process, and it's not exactly, I'm not exactly the best at narrating it. The music's gone. That means my internet's being really terrible. So again, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time. I will be using my other channel periodically for gaming streams. Tonight is not one of those nights. Tonight is a lot of homework night. So have a wonderful evening, everybody, or a day, depending on when you watch this. Yeah. Bye.